Hello, welcome to the Breaking News. I am Afio. Our stories this week are about the intersectionality of gender and climate change. With celebrations of International Women's Day extending over this week, we're going to be investigating stories around this year's UN theme of gender equality in the context of climate change. Women in Nigeria are mobilizing the changes they need in the West African country. It is important that there are equal spaces and resources for women and men to participate in climate change decision-making and action at all levels. Desmond Maja-Kodumi, a renowned environmentalist, speaks about how women's needs have to be taken into account in climate-related policy making for a more sustainable future.
The harsh reality is that the vast majority of the decisions that were taken that brought us to this very, very dangerous point that could become a point of no return, leading to catastrophic consequences, these decisions were made by men. And it's about time that we had good, effective representation of all our population.
And women in Russia are not accepting flowers this year for the 8th of March. Instead, with anti-war protests erupting across the country, feminists are placing flowers on war memorials across the country in remembrance of the victims of the war in Ukraine.
So we've been really lucky to get some extremely powerful pictures that really detail the extent of the protests going on right now against the conflict, with a lot of anti-war imagery and symbolism around St. Petersburg, such as the graffiti as well as green ribbons. And alongside this, we have these really raw photos of women around Russia, from Kaliningrad all the way to Vladivostok, laying their Women's Day gifts and flowers down at significant war memorials and other such places. It's a really incredible article.
And moving on, the government of Indonesia made the decision to change the capital city of the country from Jakarta to Nusantara. One of the major reasons for the decision is rising sea levels, air pollution, and other environmental challenges. Development projects in Nusantara leave indigenous women particularly vulnerable, as their livelihood and relationship with nature are at stake.
Climate change does affect people, does affect everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But it affects people differently, disproportionately, because obviously some people has a choice while some other doesn't really have a choice. And when it comes to like based on gender or sexuality, of course, women face a heavy burden. And also there is some other group, LGBTQ communities, for example.
And from Hong Kong comes the story. Pollution in Hong Kong is a serious problem, with power plants vomiting over 75,000 tons of carbon dioxide daily. Our reporter Adrian speaks to Kwan, who was born in 1930 in Tung Chung, a family village in the outskirts of Hong Kong. Her village, unlike the rest of the city, has resisted industrialization, protecting 40% of rural land, and it remains the same as when she was a child.
咩擔心啲咩呢？
啲嘢變成點嘅？香港話以前香港就好嘅，因為香港隨時變嘅喎，點知啊？
點解香港變呢？
我唔知點解喎，我都唔明白點解啲人做出嚟。
你哋覺得你以前細個個文化咧，係咪覺得父母之間係咪？
And last but not the least, we investigate the United Kingdom's eco-gender gap, whether or not British women are more environmentally friendly than British men. One study claims that women in UK are more likely to commit to sustainable living than men. Check out our work on The Breaker this week to read more. And those were the top stories for this hour. Once again, I am Afio. Thanks for watching.